Good morning, church. Good morning. How are we all doing on this fine Sabbath? First things first, I want to say, Pastor, if you're watching this, I think I've been set up. There's a lot of people in church today. I didn't know we were having communion. So, thank you. Okay. When Pastor first asked me to give a testimony, I was like, whew, are you sure you want to do that? I thought about it, got the email. Well, my wife gave it to me first. She emailed her, then she emailed me the email, and she told me, so I got it twice. I thought about it, and I was like, babes, are you sure y'all want to do this to me? She said, well, you could do it. Just go ahead, talk about what God has done for you and everything like that. The first thing I can say God has done for me is put me right here to be saying this to you guys. That has given me a lot of strength. However, in saying so, I have a lot to testify about. The good that God has done for me, the bad that He's allowed me to go through, to see the good through that. And, whew, yeah. Now, overall, I know a lot of people don't like to hear when I say this, but I can acknowledge that I'm a sinner. In the sense that I live by God's commandment, but not all of them. It takes a lot for me to say that. Even saying it sounds weird because it's like asking myself, if I know good, why don't I do it? However, we all have our path and our lane to take. And the funny thing about it is, the book of Ecclesiastes, I have never known why that book has stuck with me for all the years that I've known myself. Last night, I was trying to drum up what I'm going to say to you guys, deliver my testimony, everything like that. So I started speed reading through the book of Ecclesiastes. Whilst I was doing so, I realized that, like Solomon, he was a wise man, but he still had a quest, because although being the wisest man, there was still a lot of things unanswered to him that he couldn't understand. Now, me, myself, reading that, knowing that Solomon's the wisest man and everything like that, I have to ask myself, okay, God, you put me here on earth, you've laid out your laws, basically, and I guess I choose which to follow. I.e., it's like, for instance, we all drive, most of us, and we know the speed limit is 35, but yet still we'll be doing 45, 55 in the 35-minute zone. So I'm not trying to justify my wrongs. However, in saying so, within time, the Lord will allow me to get to the place that I need to be. One, as I say, I got a lot to testify about, but the most one that stuck with me all the time is that I'm grateful to God to constantly allowing me to be a presence in my kids' life. We are distance apart, miles and miles apart. However, the relationship that I have with most of them, we still do, yeah, most of them, it's like I am next door, per se. That in itself has made me somewhat strong, allow me to be able to look into myself and say, okay, well, like Solomon on his quest, I'm just on a journey, and eventually I'll get there. My biggest thing is, I don't want to make any promises that I can't fulfill. I know a lot of you have been praying for me to be baptized, praying for me to accept the word of God, and so forth and so on. My faith is strong, but I just don't want to make any promises that I can't fulfill. In the sense of, I know it's a journey, I'm aware of such thing. However, with my understanding as to what I know, I'm already not living right. So I don't want to, some people say, oh, it's a process, you give yourself to the Lord and then He'll guide you and all that stuff. I do get that, but I already know that I'm not doing certain things correctly. So my thing is, if I know this much, why would I put myself in that situation, i.e. getting baptized, and yet still choose to live the way I'm living right now? With such things said, as I say, I don't make promises. However, a promise to myself is that with the journey that I've been on so far, and through the good and bad times God has carried me through, all I need to do is to continue fear God. Thank you. Amen. Amen.